Okay. Watching table? Apple. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on? Gross. Eat them horses. Today, we got a couple of things coming your guys' way. 3 more pots. And then, today is my Wednesday, so it's a long day, but this is the last version of the long day. So, we're gonna get through that, and then we're gonna move on to greener pastures on Wednesdays not being in the morning. But I'll get over there in a second. Green off. All right. Turn the little camera off. There we go. There's music for me. What's drop the link. On my screen it doesn't show a link. I wonder if YouTube automatically deletes links. It says my music for you, colon, and then nothing. Maybe you can hit like cut off something on it. Yeah. Try to post it without the HTTP part, and then I can. No, just post it without the. Just post it and then cut off the thing that's making it get recognized, right? Can't you do that? Did you post something again? It didn't even recognize that you posted anything. Doesn't show up. Don't bother. You'll find a way. All right. Yeah, it didn't even show up. I wonder, you know, if you just maybe if you type out the. It seems to take them all down. I wonder if maybe you could just tell me what the name of the thing is. Like, what's the name of the playlist on YouTube? And then tell me what it looks like, and I can pop that in quick. Also, this is a new clay body. It's a really, really smooth, so I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to get the height we normally look for, but try not to get too worried about it. It's called Pottery Demon. At Pottery Demon is the name of it. Like, you posted it. I'm confused. All right, wheel. Bring this down here. My hammerfish is coming down. He says, "Good day, chili dog. Good day to you, chili dog." second. Have my thumbs on the inside here. I'm going to be opening up the base here, using my middle finger as that cutting tool. Kind of see how that works. Smooth out that base, and we really want to find that definitive corner, right? Have a full base and a full wall. That's how we get it cruising. Round this off. Camera B. Hello everybody, it's me, Llama. I had a dream about volcanoes last night. Let's turn our dreams into reality. Llama bites down on that rim. Slowly, as he's driven towards his dreams, he manifests them in a tangible way. There you go, volcano. The water. Oh, it's literally just like a playlist. Oh, I thought when you were saying it's called at Pottery Demo, I thought you were making a joke. You're so funny, yo. Does it have the @ sign, or is it literally just Pottery Demon? I wonder if you made the playlist, you can make the playlist public on your page, and then I could probably click on your page and find it from there. A little bit of water. Bro, the water on your hand doesn't make it less rigid. Not really. I think things being rigid really depends on how much the speed that you raise your hands, right? Like, think of it, it's like printing layer height in like a 3D printer, right? And so if you have a really small layer height and you allow it to make a couple of rotations before you lift your fingers, right, you're not really gonna have a lot of like rigid lines. Pretty thin right in this top part, so that's why it's acting really weird right there. Alright, let's see. Alright. Let me wipe all my clay on my pants. Camera A. Computer. Hello, Mandy. We're looking up a thing right now, so wait 1 second as I do this, guys. I think I'll go to playlist. Pottery Time playlist? No, you said it was just named Pottery Demon, right? Ah. Is this it? Dude, it looks like this guy's coming out of like an old Western movie, out of the saloon to approach the pot here. There we go. So that should be it, right? All right. So epic. Alright. Some water that interior there. Finger right underneath. And then we are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have that one large one, but we're not really going to worry about it too much. This is exactly where it's really thin too. So we're probably going to do one twist down and set it there. And then one twist above the other twist. I messed that last one up, but that's okay. Camera B. We got a little flare out on the top, and so if we do the little, plucks on the top, then on the bottom we got to make sure we do something different, or else it kind of like melds the two together, where we want them to actually feel different, right? And so having a different thing would be good. Bump the volume. I can turn it up a little bit if you'd like. Or maybe it is loud enough. I can't have it too loud, or else when I edit it, it's gonna be too overpowering. So maybe I leave it. Perfect. I'll be doing that then. Very vibey music. Alright. Right underneath this bottom edge, some water. Slowly pushing up the skirt of the tree here. There we go. Getting some water. I have my pinky right underneath. I'm slowly pulling out the wall here. Nice. Ah, I see. I'm gonna cut. Cut. There we go. Alright, we got our Beyblades, and we're gonna start curling these up, guys. You ever listen to music from the game Ratchet and Clank? If you haven't, you should look up like the OG playlist. There's actually like a really cool YouTube documentary on the guy who wrote all the music for the games, but he had a very specific ideology on how the game or the music should function in the game, and sort of the vibe is similar to some of the songs that I'm listening to right now. Alright, so there's tree number 1. Also, I don't know if you guys could tell, but this is a different clay body, right? So it's kind of interesting. Camera A. Wedging table. There we go. Yeah, the top is different, so I wanted to make sure I did that. Yeah, I have some red plants that deserve that piece. People always say like they want to put a bonsai tree in there, and then you have all the bonsai tree people in the chat. They'll tell the people who want to use it for that stuff like how unsafe it would be for the tree. So I always think it's kind of interesting. But here we go. push this down. And so what makes this clay a little bit different, right guys, is that this stuff is a little bit more stretchy, right? Like when I use my normal, it's called red brown, it's like a cone 8 clay body, whatever, you know? But that stuff has a lot more grog in it, and it's a lot shorter. Short kind of means it's gonna tear rather than stretch, right? And so this clay body is really stretchy and it doesn't have as much grog, so I can't really get that height that I would normally be able to get without kind of cheating a little bit with collar poles, you know? I try to make one of those pots in my next art class. Yeah, go for it, yo. You gotta tag me too. It'd be so, not like tag me so I get credit, like tag me so I can see what you made, you know? It's like, I have a strong opinion that like forms, nobody owns like a form on the wheel. Maybe the wheel owns the form that's made on it, right? But I've had a couple of people make some of my trees before, and then they post them on their stuff, and I always think it's kind of interesting to see their approach. On Instagram, a couple of people did that, which was kind of nice. They said very nice words about it too. Listen, I'll give it a go. Love video game soundtracks. It's one of my favorite. The Last of Us and Red Dead Redemption. Oh, I haven't played The Last of Us. I will one day though. Need some light with that camera. Oh, the one on the top? There you go, a little flashlight. You gotta keep your flashlight. It's one of the necessary pottery tools. No worries, thanks for stopping in, I appreciate it. Risk of Rain 2, oh yeah. The game's really good. But I feel like it's one of those games where, like after I dump like a ton of hours into games like that, I feel like, I don't know, it feels like the time evaporated. That's how I feel about RimWorld. I have like so many hours in RimWorld, but I keep trying to convince myself that it's like the time investment's worth it. And then I die, and then it resets everything. I'm like, definitely not worth it. But it's fun. Some of my friends are really into it. Also, the development team of Risk of Rain 2 has an interesting backstory. I think it was like 2 buddies. They made the whole entire game, which is pretty awesome. Okay, here we go for llama number 2, guys. Camera B. Hey guys, llama for volcano number 2. Let's get into it. I'm slowly walking this up. You said you don't like single player games. Are those single player games? Like RimWorld? Yeah, I feel like yeah, RimWorld's definitely a single player game, but it's like a colony management thing, so it's like a strategy game. Like, I guess when single player, I kind of meant like campaign games, but I would rather just play with my friends more than anything else, to be honest. There we go for the first pull. We're gonna color this in. That's the goal is I'm actually going to bring my GameCube down here. So after the year, I just got like this cool like microphone stand that I'm going to attach a heat gun onto it. And so I'll probably be making some larger stuff and maybe some multi-piece things on the wheel here coming up. And then while that's drying, I was like, well, you know what, I can get a GameCube down here. And I'll play like a GameCube game for like 5 minutes as it's drying enough for me to continue working on it. And so then I'll just like have this pod in the background as I'm playing old GameCube games, which I thought would be kind of fun. So this is a collar pole. You can see I'm gonna get a lot of height from this. And I also gotta be careful because it almost wanted to tear right in this middle part. Get my hand down at the bottom here. We're gonna do one final pull here. So here we go. Pushing a little bit. And on these sort of pulls, we actually don't really want to pull up any height. We're just trying to equalize that clay. So you can see how I'm not really having a big bump at all. I have so much water leaking on my foot right now, it's kind of ridiculous. Okay, come on. Whatever. That's really annoying. Also, there's a lot of discussion to be had about what makes a video game fun and what people should expect from games. We also still need a point where we recognize that we can influence our fun. Ooh, GameCube. GameCube was your first console. It's the best console. If you don't like dying and losing process, you gotta reevaluate what makes a game fun for you. I feel like the best part about games is the losing, right? And it's like it gives you that the cycle, you know. It's where, you know, once you lose, you know, I don't like the cheap tricks where it's like they shove a play button right in your face, so you have to make a split second, 1 second decision if you're gonna like redeem yourself or not. I like the games that like beat you up and they're like really brutal and like really test your mind a little bit, right? Not with how smart you are, but like your will to continue. And there's no cheap tricks, right? Alright, so here we go. We're gonna do one little buffer on this bottom. Stop. Go for rotation and then. So you can see when we're looking at this buffer tree, do you see how the bottom and right at the beginning is cool, but it just doesn't have that height on this pot here. And it's also very cylindrical. So this is one where I'm probably going to want to bring this top out a little bit. There we go. And so maybe that gives it something more. It's just this middle part is just too thick, right? So when I look at that, that's the thing that's kind of bothering me about these. But I think the same reason my taste in games is the same reason I like what's it called? Torturing myself on the wheel. Right? Like, the wheel I always think is very unforgiving. And it's not a nice thing, but I view it almost as like a challenge, right? And so like I really try to like picture like the clay as like my arch rival. I think we have to do another tendril cut here. But we'll do a double tendril. I remember somebody yesterday, they asked me to do a double tendril. Oh, I cut that one a little bit short, but that's okay. Curl this up. Curl this up. Curl this up. I don't know if I'm loving this one, to be honest. We'll see in a second here. There we go. And then with these bottom ones, we're just tapering those out. And then we're gonna hold, and then flap at the end. And hold, flap at the end. There we go. Just something really simple on this one, right? Can the wheel not rotate in the other direction? It totally can. So, like on some of them, I will stop the wheel and then have them twist the other way. So it definitely is possible, right? So I like this one, how it's playing with that top rim a little bit on that corner. Camera A. Okay, we got the last one cruising here. Yeah, I think so too, because without the tendrils, that one, it felt like it was really, it felt like it wasn't, didn't have any life. It was a little bit dead, you know? And so I think really sometimes those small little things, like there's this guy, who told me this? Some potter somewhere, right? Said that like the millimeter makes a difference. Right? And I thought it was kind of like baloney until I started like really working with some of these small things where even like a small little part can really change the whole entire dynamic on how the pot works, right? If you see a little curve and then there's one little dent, right, that soft curve immediately is destroyed, right? And so it's kind of interesting seeing how that stuff really plays together on the wheel there. This clay makes very delicate looking trees. Yeah, I think this clay is just, you see how they're just not as tall though? So this time I'm gonna try to get some height maybe out of this one. Lower that right hand, bring that wobble down. So this clay is a little bit softer, and so it wants to stretch way easier, right? All right. Camera B. And pushes down. We'll try to do something a little bit different this time. How's that sound? Still gonna be a tree, but we're gonna see if we can get a double opening on the top, put some more distance between. Okay. You got this little dollop of clay in the middle here, so we're smoothing that out. There we go. Again, smooth this down. Camera A. Wheel. Hey guys, look up there. It's me, Llama. Llama from this cam is pretty new. We haven't done this one yet, but here we are for the last volcano of the day. Let's get into it. Camera B. Llama's gonna bite down on this rim. Slowly knock up this edge. I was kind of going a little bit quick with the other pots today, so let's make sure we really hammer down our speed and try to print those lines pretty nice, right? So here we go, a little bit of water. Get right down to the base. Okay, so really project that bottom in. And slowly loosen up that pressure when we get up, right? So here we go again, one more time. Right down to the base, down first. Project that clay in. I think it might be a little bit thin on the bottom, so it's starting to, oop, I just took a chunk out of that top rim with my nail there. Alright, so we're going to do one collar. Run this off. Some water. What happened to head mount? The head mount battery is charging, so usually the head mount is on and I can swap to that, but I have the portable battery for the head mount. It just needs like a day to charge and it lasts for like 2 days. So then the mount, or the batteries for the transmitter on the mount, those I have 3 different batteries, and sometimes I forget to charge them all. You can see a very small, slight little bump here when we walk this up. Why are we doing that small bump? Because this clay is really soft. It wants to usually collapse a lot more, right? Alright, here we go, guys. Some water. And then again, guys, don't be scared. Put some water on that arm and just go right down. You ever be down to chat about some of the deets about your setup? Have questions? Yeah, I mean, I would probably do that stuff all one day. Just, it has to be sometime after the 20th, you know? Slowly walk this bump up. So you can see that we're just trying to nail in the wall there. Trying to get a really nice cylinder with even walls, because that's going to help us out later. So here we go, guys. Okay. Again, get some of the water out of the interior. Alright, so we're probably going to do a bump here if we're going to do the double bump. So we'll do these pretty tight on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So now we got these kind of aimed in here. And then now we're going to emphasize them. And so I'm slowly trying to thin out that clay in between each one of these little grooves from the outside, pushing in as my interior hand is in the little nook of that vein space, right? And so the first thing that we're going to do is do the first twist down. Let's see how much did I twist this up there? That's okay. We'll leave it at that. And we're gonna do our second bump. So we're gonna carve over this bump here with our fingers and create a nice sturdy spot for us to start our next bump. Okay. Essentially. Usually, sometimes if I don't do that, sometimes it will get really like off center there and it'll start getting very ovular or orbular. Starting to do it though, even though I accounted for it. Come on. Nice. We got something like this, kind of very different, but you can see how it's kind of setting that base and then opening up that top. This one I feel like is very vase-like, right? But again, it's kind of those ones that has like this little hidden chamber. Camera A. So you can kind of see there's this little nook underneath inside of this area here, which I think is kind of interesting. Sometimes I feel like I could do stuff with that area, but right now it's unexplored. Slowly push this up. Flattening this out. And so if we have something that's pretty, jarring on the top, we might do something like tabs on this bottom edge here. So let's see what we got. Let me kick this up. Do tendrils. You think the tendrils would look good? I think I just might not have enough clay at the bottom to do tendrils though. Like they'd be very like noodly, where I think this one would actually benefit from like tabs or something. But let's see. Yeah, I just don't know if I can do tendrils on this one. We'll try. So since they're so noodly though, let's try to get 3 of them rather than just 2. And let's see how it cruises, There's one. 2. 3. Get some of that clay off my hands. Camera A? Or camera B? Camera B? Okay. Lift this up. Lift up just like that. Oh. So this one is kind of sad. It ripped, but let's not let that stop what we're trying to do here, right? So take the little broken piece, and just because it's so thin, That one's a little bit weird. I don't know if I'm loving that one. The first one's okay though. This one also ripped. Kiss these little tendril edges here. And then we don't want it too busy, so we're gonna do one flap, one flap, one flap. There we go, just to add a little bit more interest on that bottom. There we go, guys. Camera A. Yeah, it does kind of look like it's holding up some sort of cauldron or something, you know? It has that little mystic energy to it. It's all the water that's leaking on the floor here. Now the water got on a box, so you know that that box is gonna get all moldy now. SMH. Here we go, guys. Maybe I set this a little bit more over to the right here. I think that's okay. Then next, we're gonna have our friend here. This rim, I'm thinking I'm liking how this one's looking. Push that one up as forward as I can. Get ready. Have this right on the bottom. Here we go. Tuck right underneath that ledge. Nice. Look at these ones, guys. These are kind of interesting. Sad one ripped. Two of them ripped actually, but they ended up being okay. You know, it's kind of funny. I just noticed that yesterday we did no tendrils, and then today we did all tendrils. Bulbular. Bulbular, I like that. Sometimes I called it orbular, but bulbular is also kind of interesting. All right, here we go. Turn this on. Tilt this over. Send me some energy. Apple. Let's get into it here. So, what am I thinking about this one? I'm thinking that this one was kind of interesting. It was kind of a double bump. So I dumped out on the bottom and I bumped out on the top. And I did a little, you know, somebody in the chat was telling me, hey, why don't you do some tendrils on this one, right? I was a little bit weary on it, but I thought it might be interesting, so I went for it. And I'm actually pretty pleased with how it turned out. I actually think that the small little tendrils being smaller than the veins of the tree actually add to this one. Somebody even said that it looked like it's holding up like a little cauldron or something, you know? So I actually kind of like this one. It's a pretty interesting pot. It's very different from some of the other trees. I feel like it's not even in tree realm anymore at this point, you know? Anyway, we got this one over here. I'm liking this one quite a bit. I like this one because it's a buffer tree, right? And the buffer tree was a little bit squatty here, so I wasn't really vibing with it at the beginning. But then when the tendril sort of launched up over top and curled over top of that edge there, I think that really set this piece off. There's not too much stuff on the bottom that's impeding kind of these special moments. And then that actual buffer, you know, that buffer swirl, I think looks pretty nice as well. And then on the top, we got one where we did, it's kind of difficult to see the thing, but the background looks sick. But you can see on the top edge where that tree is, we did a little pluck, kind of twist right on that top edge. And I think that's pretty interesting on one that's opened up. I've done that a couple times, maybe maybe like 4 times out of the 1,000 something I've done now. And I always think it's very iffy if I light them. They feel to me like maybe they're a little bit too chill, right? I think I did one where I tried to use some cutting and I tried to make panels off the top, but it just really didn't work out. It's hard to get something nice on that top edge. I think soon I'm gonna be going back to maybe some split rims if I can get them to be really even. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality. Computer? All right. Oh, it's a great lineup today. Evolving the tree genre. I love that, yo. The genre of trees. I love that all of them started the process being considered meh, but all of them got really interesting in the end. Yeah, that's true, you know, because at the beginning they were kind of, none of them, the actual twist of the forms here, none of them are like pretty crazy at all, but I think this one's all about those ending things kind of setting off the piece, which was kind of cool. You know, they're still limited in size a little bit though, because the softness of that clay is different, but I'm sure this more and more it gets dry, the taller and taller they'll become. But yeah, and then somebody says, what is he gonna do with all of them once he's done though? Like with a year? I don't know. We'll probably just sit for a couple months until I figure out what I want to do with them. But I'll be making some other videos, and then I'm gonna be doing some different kind of pots too. So that's what we have to look forward to. And I have some interesting ideas for the actual content of the stream too, so I think that will change up quite a bit when I have more time to edit that stuff. Do you have a stream schedule, or is it more a daily vibe-based schedule? It's daily vibe-based. It's just whenever I have time. Like I have work at 1, so now I have to edit before it's 1 o'clock. And so I'm gonna get right into that right now. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.